Okay, so this man calls out to me. He's like, "Hey, girl, let's get married." I said, "What?" So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite manifestation stories that I've ever had. This is something that happened to me like when I was like really deep in the whole affirmations movement, and I was in like the whole okay, I'm going to do everything and I'm going to manifest everything. So I saw this video of Kim Velez, and she was talking about today is the day affirmation. And she's like, this is it. This is the shit. I love it. And I was like, okay, great. I'm going to do it. Today is the day. And so at that moment, I didn't meet my husband yet. So I was like, okay, today is the day that I'm going to meet my husband. That's what I'm going to do. So I was just like, I watched a video and then I was like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go to a party. So I'm like, you know what? That's when I'm gonna do it. So I'm like, all right, tomorrow, put a pin in that. So I go to bed, I wake up, and I'm like, the whole night, I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, today, tomorrow is today, right? So I go and I'm just like, I wake up in the morning, and everything, my entire focus for that whole day was like, today is the day. Like I'm setting it up. I'm like, oh, today's the day. I can feel it. And like my whole focus, my whole consciousness, my energy. I go take a shower. I'm like, today's the day. I take a shower and I'm like in the shower, I'm like, today's the day I meet my husband. I get up, I'm putting on my makeup. I'm like, today's the day I meet my husband. Today's the day. I'm driving to the party. I'm like, oh, today's the day I meet my husband. Today's the day. I get to the party. Everything is cool. Everything is nice. Nothing happens. I meet no one. Absolutely nobody is there. Like, it's like whatever. It's not even like anybody to even see. Like there was like no contenders basically. It wasn't anyone in there. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I leave and I'm like walking out and I'm headed to my car and there's like a homeless man there. And I'm just walking. I didn't think nothing of it. And he gonna call over to me. He gonna say, "Hey, girl," and he said, "Let's get married." I said, "What?" Okay. Let me tell you something about God. Let me tell you something about the universe, and let me tell you something about everyone is you pushed out, right? Everyone is you pushed out is basically the whole thing of saying everyone is going to shift in your reality based on what you put out, right? So this whole day, my whole reality is shifting around me. Like I'm thinking like, okay, I am trying to find a husband today. It has to be today. And that's not really how it works, right? You can't really necessarily find a husband today because it's kind of like you have to meet someone. That's not how you would necessarily frame it to the universe, right? Because no one's just going to meet me and be like, okay, let's get married now. You know what I mean? And that's basically what I was asking for. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to ask for like a husband and I'm just going to look for someone that's like, meet a man that's gonna like me and we're gonna date, right? No, I was just like, nah, let me go ahead and meet my husband. So the universe was like, all right, bet you want to find somebody that'll marry you today, no strings. I'm gonna send you right here, this homeless man right here in the parking lot. That's exactly who's gonna marry you. And after that, I was just like, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not. After that, there is no today affirmations coming out of my mouth unless I know for a fact. Because listen, I done learned my lesson, and I know if it's one thing I can do, it is to manifest something on that day, right? So unless it's something that I really truly want, and then I have to think about all of these caveats because the universe is like, don't play with us unless you know you can actually really get it in today. Like you can actually get it in one day. Don't ask us for nothing because we're gonna send you some foolishness, right? So I'm just like, okay, I don't use it anymore, and I'm gonna need for y'all to learn how to use it. So I'm here to teach you how to use it. You want to ask for something when you say it. Today's a day because it worked for me, right? You have to be fully in that consciousness. I went to bed, I woke up, I thought about it in the shower, I thought about it doing my makeup. Everything was my whole entire consciousness. I didn't think about damn near anything else other than that affirmation that day, right? So I'm fully entrenched in that. And I'm truly believing what I'm saying because you have to have like this belief, right? So I'm believing like, oh, today's the day. I heard it, and I know it's gonna be today. So you have to have this kind of belief and faith that what you're saying is true, right? So after you have that, you have to also think about like, is it lined up for something that you're saying? Now, if you're saying today is the day that I'm going to get a bonus check from my job or whatever, if you do normally get bonus checks, then it should work out for you, right? Because that's how it usually works. Then you can say today's a day and be fully entrenched. Or you can say, if you're going on a job interview, today's the day that I get this job. Today is the day. Today's the day of my job interview, and I'm going to get this job today. You see how that works? And it's going to work 100%. I promise you. I promise you that your entire reality will shift to get what you want. You just have to be very kind of specific in the sense of, do you know what it is that you want? Is it possible for you to get it in that one day, or do you think it's going to take more than one day? You see, I met my husband after the fact, weeks later, and I still met him how I wanted him to meet him. I just didn't meet him in the timeline of a very small, short timeline like that. So when you do everything, you want to make sure you're coming at it from being like, everything is you pushed out. You want to make sure that everything in your reality is changing, because it's gonna shift. Your reality is going to shift 100%. There's no way that it's not going to. If you're assuming and your entire consciousness is focused on one thing, that's what's going to happen, because that's how it is. Now, my entire consciousness was focused on this one thing happening to me, for someone to go and say something and have it be repeated back to me. Because that's another thing that happens. It's the same thing if you're doing it for an SP. If you're saying something in your mind, I didn't tell this man to say that to me. You don't have to tell your SP what to say to you. You think of it as that. And today is the day that the SP is going to say that back to me, and they'll reflect it back to me. Right? 100%. It's happened. I've had other things that's happened to me when it comes to doing like, remote, I wouldn't even call it remote seduction, but speaking to people basically in your mind and having them say it back to you. It's the same thing if everyone is you pushed out. You have to make sure that you're thinking of yourself and you're changing the assumption of yourself, and then it will come back 100% how you want it. And even if it is something like the timing, even if you say it's not going to necessarily happen today, it will happen. It will happen. You have to have faith. If you asked me that day earlier that morning if I was going to meet my husband, 100%, I had no doubts about it, right? And that's the whole thing about it. You have to make sure that you believe it and that you know it's true. Go in and then you're going to change your consciousness, and you're going to shift your consciousness to something of that, and then you're going to use it. And so anytime you want to have an affirmation that's like super powerful, you make sure that your affirmation is something that your entire consciousness believes in. You believe it, you feel it, you know for a fact it's true. And then you can say it. It doesn't have to just be today's the day. It can be any affirmation that you want it to be. It's the same thing. It's the same principle, and it's going to have it reflect back to you into your reality. So I want you to do this. Like tomorrow, if you have something that you can think of, I want for you to say, today is a day. Now, me, I don't play with the universe no more. Like, listen, once they done sent me my homeless husband over there, I'm like, listen, I don't even think it was like the universe. I think it was like my spirit guides messing with me, because let me tell you something. Where I live, like, we don't have homeless people like that. Like, not in parking lots. Like, you know what I mean? They're not going to be close enough to be encountered. It's not like I live downtown. You know what I mean? So it's like, for him to even be close enough to have a conversation is very unusual. I don't pass by homeless people ever. Never. That's the only since then, and now I've never had another transaction with another homeless person. So it's like, I feel like that was them like taking over his body to tell me, like, don't call us with no today affirmations unless you really honestly mean it. Okay? Don't call us with that mess. So after that, I'm like, listen, I ain't calling my spirit guides for nothing today unless I really need it. And even then, like if they know that I really need something, then I'm not, they'll just give it to me. I don't have to like be like, oh, today. But as far as you, you can definitely do it. And I want it to be, it's like a game. Like everything is a game that we're doing. Every single thing. Like gamify it, and if you believe it, it will work, and then when you win, then it's like so do that and let me know how that works out for you. So thanks for watching. This is Hot Shelby. You can visit me on hotshelby.com for all of your coaching needs. I am a certified life and success coach, and I'm here to help you be everything that you want to be and have all the success in your life and manifest and have your husband and your wealth and your health and everything. So if you are looking for somebody that can help you with that, visit me on hotshelby.com and I will be there. So thanks for watching, and watch my next videos, and I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.